Hey there guys, and welcome to the next video. I'm actually at a truck stop in West York, just outside of Thomasville. We're waiting to get in for the weekend to do our market thing, but I wanted to check in with you guys and update everything I've been doing. In this video, I want to catch everybody up to current times because it's now spring. As you can see, I have grown a beard since December. It is now mid-April. So far, so great with traveling. I am going to foreshorten a good bit of it. Now that it's spring, we have a lot to go do. Alrighty, with that said, the dogs and I, we're going to head back to the camper here, and I can show you guys where we are around the corner here. Come on, doggies. And I'll show you guys where we're parked over here. This is one of my favorite truck stops. And actually, truck stops are something I discovered to make all of this a lot easier, but I'll explain that in some videos coming up. But like I said, we'll get into this video. There we are, and amongst all the big guys. For now, let's see what we did at the first site, and then I'll check in again. Talk to you guys soon. Here comes my welcoming committee. Hey there guys, I wanted to give you a tour of the new travel trailer. I named her Magnolia, and she's a 23-foot long 1988 Sunline satellite travel trailer, built the same year I began digging as a kid at 12 years old. I'll take you guys in here so you can check it out. This is my little kitchen over here. Microwave, sink, the whole 9 yards. Mr. Peabody glass here. Over here is my little living room area. That's like where I do my paperwork. Even Noose has her own little cat nook she has here, built in the side, where I charge my stuff. It's an old cigarette lighter, 12-volt adapter up there. I'm going to do away with all the fluffy stuff around the windows here. Some new curtains and things. This stuff here, that stuff's got to go. I'm not big on that. And we go this way. Over here's all the dog's water. Here's my fridge. And then stuff in here for the pets. Bowls and food for the dogs down there. Keys and headlamps, so I know where all that is. Then we go back here. And this is actually going to end up being the workshop. But for now, it's my bedroom. That up there will be storage. All the fluffy stuff, again, that's got to go. There's Noose's cat house with her cat box inside, my dirty clothes. Here's where I keep my clothes. Over here, this is going to be a future display case for bottles. Look how perfect that is. Look at these little shelves. In here is my little bathroom. Turn the light on. And yeah, my little shower over here. There I am. Nice and compact. Just the way us diggers like it. And last but certainly not least, of course, I got to have my shovel and probe in here as well. So I have the kids meeting these farm animals over here. What do you guys think of them, huh? What do you think of Piggy? Yeah, what do you think of Piggy? Good girl, Lil. Good boy, Hutchie. Yeah, here goes another one. Yeah, that's right. You be nice. Yeah, you be nice. That's right. Good dogs. Yeah. No, come on now. He don't care about you. That's good. All right, come on, guys. Come on. Hutchinson, to me. Good boy. Yeah, good boy. That's right. Come on, Lil. Lily's a tough one. She's the one you got to kind of watch around other animals, but she's being a good girl for me, that's for sure. Come on, baby. Come on. So now that I'm on site, I have 3 major objectives. Number 1 was to locate the original house foundation for the property when it was built. Number 2 was to investigate an odd sink spot in the backyard, as you can see here. And number 3 was to identify any other artifact sites that may be present. Here's the modern aerial view of where the house currently stands. And in this 1932 aerial photo, you'll see where the original house from the 1880s, I believe, was located. If we switch it back over, you can see there's no structure there anymore. But luckily, still a foundation. All right, my digging assistant, he has a tape measure. He carries that for me. He carries all kinds of stuff for me. Hey, good boy. All right, come on, assistant. You bring me my tape measure. I got to see how long this is. Good boy, that's right. That's about spot on. Come here, we gotta do it over here. Come on. Attaboy. Come here. Thank you. Thanks. All right, so I'll show you guys what I think is the old foundation for the original house that was here. You can see it's all mortared fieldstone, and that's super common around here. They really didn't utilize limestone resources like it did up closer to York. They actually just use the shale slash, I guess you call it that, schist, kind of like a shale kind of stone. And yeah, that's what I'm thinking this was. If you guys look real close here, you'll see there's a straight line down the rocks there, and over here there's another straight line. And if you step back here, you'll see it's probably where an old doorway was. It's also pretty well dead centered from that side to where the rocks end over here. I'm going to measure it to double check it, but if that lines up and that's a void, most likely this was the either side door or entrance to the house. The old abandoned road that goes through here is actually back in here where the level spot is. And yeah, right here would have been the original road that came through before they built the modern one out here. You can kind of see where it's level, but the township was putting the old road that they busted up out here probably in the 80s or 90s right here along this hillside. If we go farther down, you'll see huge hunks of old concrete highway and yellow markings on it. And as far as the foundation goes, I want to see if I can get any kind of charred remains out to see if that's why they changed where the house was, or if maybe some reason they just gave it up. We'll have to see. But yep, I'm going to head out here. All right, so I just got done measuring this, and this thing is exactly 25 feet long. And the center doorway is dead center. I think it's off by about 2.5 to 3 inches from what I can tell, but that's not much. I'm starting to be pretty sure that this would have been the original property's house and its old foundation. But the only thing that troubles me is it's so level on top, but you can tell it was reworked, redone, and of course the doorway filled in here. So I'm going to test hole the top of it, see what kind of fill I get out of it, and maybe even test hole around the base of it as well, because I have a theory that the house would have burned down and then they would have just built a new one, and thus why this one was built in 1949. So yep, evidence is always in the ground. You just gotta know where to dig to figure it out to find it. So I'll check in with you guys soon. So I dug some test holes and did some probing, but I really couldn't come up with any conclusive evidence that the house had burned down. Who knows what happened to it, but obviously a new site was chosen. My guess would be the old road was undoubtedly to fade away, as the modern road would be favored. Thus, the newer house faced in the opposite direction, while the old road disappeared off into the brush. At some point, the foundation was filled in and leveled off, and the southeastern side became a retaining wall for the area above. Who knows what may be buried inside of the foundation, but that'll have to wait for another day. The next thing I wanted to explore on the property was the sink spot behind the summer kitchen and get to the literal bottom of it. All right, so I'm trying to get down through here. There's some larger rocks in it, and it is getting crunchy in here. I know, Hutch, we'll get going soon. Boy, it really does go down easy. It is crunching pretty good. So most privies that were never touched, never filled, nothing ever thrown into them, always have a deep pit in the center and then a real slow sloping outer sides. And that's exactly what this has. Now I'm going to measure this distance from this to the actual summer kitchen, and then in front of that summer kitchen I'm going to see where the well is, and if that comes out to be an exact measurement or pretty close to one, like on the 5s or the like 10, 20, 30s, whatever, that might actually be the old privy pit. I'm just doing all the preliminary stuff before I actually have to dig in the ground. So my assistant here, he's been helping me, and checking out the chickens over here too. Big help you are. That's sort of an odd measurement. It's 66 feet, so I'm not going to really go on that too hard. And there's always some space missing when you try to do something with just a 25-foot tape measure and measure over that. So it could be 70 foot, it could be 65, the way I made it back here. My loyal assistant here, this is his first, well, investigation as a fully trained dig dog, and he's doing pretty good. And this is the same farm I brought him for the first time out as a pup at 17 weeks old. So it's kind of neat. This is our first property to check out on our journey and travels with the travel trailer, and here it's the first property Hutchie ever got to visit and meet animals and goats and everything else. So yeah, I used this place to help socialize him, and yeah, now he's being nosy over here at the clients. That's my boy, always investigating. Alright, so I just got done probing around at this, and I'm bringing up like a red, like from bricks. Now we have natural orange clay here in our soil, so it could be that. But the thing is that the way I tell between natural clay around here and our brick, like fired bricks, is the natural clay will be squishy in your fingers when you feel it like this, and when you bring up red on a probe and you peel it off and you feel it in your fingers and it's gritty, that's fired clay. And all of this so far has been gritty. That I brought up red. This isn't a red one, but you can tell it kind of has a red hue to the tip. So I think I'm hitting bricks down in there, and they probably would have closed this thing up with the excess bricks they had from this house. Who knows when they got their septic or their other outhouse or whatever. I'm not sure. They probably would have had one out here in 1949. So you would have wanted to change the position of it so you didn't have to come out in your front yard to go to the bathroom. So starting to make a lot more sense. I'm just a little hung up on the distance from the summer kitchen as far as it seems far away, but if you didn't want to contaminate your well, that's what you had to do. So yeah, definitely worth a test hole. Client cleared the test hole. So alrighty guys, we're all set up on site here, and I'm actually going to take the top of this off today. I have the two kids tied down over here, so I don't have to pay attention to what they're doing. But as you guys can see, there's a little divot here, and it sinks down about 4 by 4 on each side. I think I'm hitting bricks. I'm going off of that. I didn't even probe for the walls. I tried to, but this is pretty rocky ground out here. And this is like some kind of chicken coop out something of another, I was told. Chicken something. And here's my tarp, of course, with half of it rolled up in case I gotta use more than I'm thinking. I'm gonna take the top off today and see if it's worth digging. I'm not even doing a test hole. I'm just gonna do a 4 by 4, take a hunk out of the grass, and see what we find. Plus, at worst, maybe I'll be able to fill in a sinkhole for a client, and at best, maybe we'll get a privy. So talk to you guys soon, see if I can find something here for you. My site safety supervisor, my little watchdog here, she is fascinated by these chickens over here in the chicken coop. She just keeps watching them, and then old Hutchie, he's sniffing at other dogs and likes to watch me. So yeah, different priorities and different dogs. Alrighty, I thought I'd check in with you guys because I think I got some positive evidence. I'll take you down here and show you quick. It's right down in here. I don't know if you guys can see all these little black flecks that are in there, but that's coal. This down here, this little reddish looking thing, that's a piece of iron that's in there too. So iron, coal, I'd say about 5 inches of topsoil. So I can't really say that that's, like, this is devoid of anything. This has all that in it. Over here, we're getting coal that's coming out of the ground. Like, here's a piece, not the blackest here, but yeah, there's all kinds of coal. Like, here's some. So there seems to be a layer of coal and iron about 5 inches down. So of course, like I always say, that's a good sign, and I'll back off and show you guys the entire area here. But yep, I'm going to keep going now because that's just a little bit of good to find, to keep going, maybe another foot down, see what pops up, and see if I can't find a privy wall. Alrighty, here's my first recognizable piece of pottery I have. Here's a piece of redware hanging out here. I think I can wedge it out there. Yep, nice little bowl rim. Yep, has that nice manganese glaze. Yeah, I'd put that into the, oh, redware, gosh, that's probably into the, well, it goes into the 1700s around here, probably 1880s, 1870s. So that's starting to date correct to what era I would think this privy is. So that's pretty good, and I'd say that was about maybe 6 inches down. So that's pretty cool to find that rim in there. Beyond that, I'm hitting concrete slab here below me, but it's busted up in pieces. So I don't know, but man, I've had a lot of good evidence so far that this is at least interacted with man, and very well could be the privy. I haven't found any walls yet, but it's kind of rocky around here and apparently concretey hunky too. Yeah, I'll keep digging here. Maybe I'll find some more of this guy. Alrighty guys, the sun's setting and I figured I'd take you over here. We just took a break and I have it nice and defined. I want to show you guys what I'm working with here. If you look in here, as you can see, there's a piece of concrete slab, another piece of concrete, some square field stone appears to have been cut, and some regular field stone below it there. If you go down in here, you'll see a piece of pipe right here that I haven't unearthed yet, and another piece of pipe right here that's just kind of thrown in willy-nilly. But A, I wanted to show you guys what I was dealing with here. B, I want to show the clients what it is I found underground here. That's a good sign actually that there is something, of course, man-made here, or you wouldn't have all this stuff in the ground along with the coal and the so forth and the parts and pieces. And I thought I'd show you guys here. Here's what I brought out so far. The redware from earlier, some glass that's relatively modern looking, probably 50s, 60s, even 40s when it was filled in, if that's what it is. Coal, round nail, and I threw a bunch of them in here, and then a plastic truck wheel. So that's pretty cool. So I'm thinking I'm on to something here, but we're probably going to wrap up for the day and use the cool morning tomorrow to be moving around all that large stuff. But yeah, so far so good. Those are all good signs. So we'll see what we get to tomorrow as far as getting underneath these bigger pieces, and hopefully I can even get them out. And we'll just go from there and see what's underneath, but good signs so far. Talk to you guys soon. So I just wanted to check in and show you guys my progress so far. That's a bucket down and basically like a chute I've been digging out of the side of the clay wall behind the actual foundation of it, so I can safely get down and mosey on over or transition on over to actual used dirt in there or whatever the heck's in there. But like I said, I like to at least document it. So now that I had the site open, I wanted to get some footage of the interior as well as have the ability to probe it. So first, I rigged up my GoPro onto a long piece of wood and put a headlamp on it as well so I could see inside. I also got myself a good helper. Hopefully, you can see something in there. But yeah, there's definitely a terracotta pipe across the way there. Hopefully I'm angling you guys good enough to see that. And then I don't know much else of what's in there other than the I-beam above it here, which I'm going to get a little shot of that underneath, hopefully. See what the heck that is. And yeah, just try to get a nice video of that wall. See if I can see anything on the video later. And yeah, there you have it. That's the structure inside. I'll spin you around here, but you're just going to end up along the wall. But yeah, there's basically what I got. And then I just want a shot of the roof, if I can get that. And I'll bring you guys on out of here. So once I got to review the footage that I took within the site, I began to have my concerns about the structural integrity of it and the safety of being inside. The I-beam that was holding up the concrete above me looked to be very, very deteriorated. The concrete itself was probably about 1,000 pounds, and I wouldn't want that coming down on top of me, of course. The next thing I had a concern about was how exactly that concrete was wedged into place onto the far wall. You can see here a piece of concrete actually wedged in, holding the roof up. After this, I probed the site to see what may be inside and to weigh my risk to reward with digging the rest of it. Unfortunately, I couldn't detect any kind of use or debris layer at the bottom, so I made the tough decision of calling off doing any more work to the site. Considering the stonework inside had no mortar used with it, I would say this had to have been either a large French drain for rainwater or some form of cesspit that was hooked to the summer kitchen or the original house. It had to have had a different type of top on it and quite possibly even an outhouse, considering all the concrete and slabs and junk that had been used to seal it up. I wanted to show you guys real quick here before I get going. I found their bottle dump too. And I just wanted to point my camera down over the hill here quick. Right down here, right down straight ahead of me here. I didn't get to dig it at all, But there's oyster shells coming out way down there in the center. And yeah, a lot of debris in there. So yep, right here would have been the old house, straight back here. And then this is the lane that goes, of course, to the summer kitchen back there. So yep, that ought to be a wrap on this site for now. So there's what we got accomplished at our first site. And then off from there, we were truck stop hopping and doing all kinds of other activities as well, like markets and so forth. I'll show you guys in an upcoming video all about that. In the next video, we're going to go back in time to when Hutch was about 10 months old and I was training him still to be a dig dog. I got to take him with me on a hunt for a lost insulator dump, and that's going to be the next video. Alrighty, so you guys take care, and as always, onward, inward.